tasty cocktail and tasty conversation. Be sure to reach out to the boys on Twitter at the Recipe Boys, boys being spelled B-O-Y-Z, and check this episode's description for more information. Now pour yourself a drink, and cheers to you for listening.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Recipe Podcast, where we start off with a tasty cocktail and lead into a tasty conversation. Lex, thank you for hosting us.
No problem.
Back in Brooklyn.
Please leave by 9.
Yeah. We had a good dinner. It was kind of nice. Thai food. Anybody a fan of Thai food? Taylor, you said you had like 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, this is the third night I've had Thai for dinner. And
Still good?
yeah, no regrets. Love it.
I'm kind of a creature of habit with Thai food. I always just get pad Thai with beef.
Well, I hope I opened up your options today. I went with a little bit of everything.
I liked your comparison of, I was saying it was like the McDonald's of the pad Thai, but I think it's better to say that it's like the tikka masala or chicken parm option at Thai places.
Yeah, it's like for me, tikka masala was the first Indian food I ever had at 20 something, and it's like this is what anyone who's never had it gets.
But they're classics for a reason.
Oh yeah,
They're really good.
Yeah, it's really hard to walk me back from tikka masala. I mean, I like lamb sog, but it's really hard to walk back from tikka masala or pad Thai.
Yeah.
I will say, it's finally cooling down in New York. I like it.
Definitely is.
This weekend was nice.
No,
Very nice.
I want one more good pool day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a nice warm weekend. Is that what's coming this way?
Is it a warm weekend? I don't know. Whatever. I'm flying on Friday.
Oh, right.
So, yeah. We went raspberry picking this weekend because I'm making homemade raspberry simple syrup.
Wow.
For the cats while you're gone, right?
Yeah.
Guys, if we're doing 2 episodes in a row today. So if we seem drunk next week, we're actually drunk right now.
Yeah.
Time travel.
But we got to say stuff in the next one. We're just like, oh, wow, it's been so long since I've seen you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to feel like forever.
Right.
Yeah. So can I get right into it?
Yeah.
Jump in.
Yeah. So we were going to talk about zombies. We waited until next week because if it's me, it's going to be a tiki drink for at least the next 2 or 3 weeks. But D23 happened and changed the whole world. The world is fixed. D23 happened. So we decided that we wanted to make a cocktail that would honor California and honor Disney. And we decided to go with a Dole Whip boozy cocktail that we were inspired by what is it? Not Common Man Cocktails. It's
How to Drink.
How to Drink. He's kind of our heroes because he makes drinks to spec, but he also doesn't give a fuck.
Yes.
That's like your favorite thing.
I know. I love it. It's a good, and he's got kind of a playful way about him.
Yeah, it's because he's drunk.
He's drunk.
He does like 6 episodes in a day.
Right.
Yeah. So we're gonna do like a third of that, and we're gonna be pretty drunk. So let me get right into it because we have so much to talk about. So much to talk about that I'm not allowed to give commentary. I just have to read the facts and answer questions. Right? That's the rule.
We'll see how long that.
We'll try.
They have me handcuffed here. It's my apartment.
He can still talk with the handcuffs on. I don't even know why we bother with the handcuffs.
That's what the gag is for, Taylor.
Was that with this collar on my neck? Oh,
I knew you liked red.
They have a tattoo artist on standby to brand me if I see the wrong thing.
Oh. I was just like, what do we have a tattoo artist for? What the?
Jeffrey's a nice guy.
I was just trying to think of something you guys would do to me that would be like punishment that I wouldn't kill you for.
Yeah, but you already have a tattoo. I don't have any tattoos.
Oh. All right.
So it would be real punishment for me.
Yeah.
It depends on where we put the tattoo.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good with the Dole Whip tramp stamp. So speaking of which, let's talk about the Dole Whip. Let's try it because it's melting in front of us.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here you go, Max.
Click. I heard that.
Really good. So now our listeners can make it home. I'm gonna read it off the recipe that I kind of improvised based off of How to Drink, and also partially by how Dole says to make this. So 2 cups Dole frozen pineapple. If you're gonna do for a large amount of people, just use the whole package of Dole frozen pineapple chunks. 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of lime juice, about 1/3 of a cup of coconut milk. They say add sugar. I added a little bit of simple syrup instead because I don't like adding sugar to fruit juices. Pinch of salt goes a long way. Half of a banana. It's optional. when How to Drink made it. He said it tastes most like banana. I'm not tasting any banana.
I'm tasting banana.
Are you?
Banana.
Well, I was really trying to get away from that, so I did a third of a banana for the three of us, by the way. So like I really went down on banana. I think Dole asked you to use a whole one for any one serving. Like that's too.
Because they're in the banana.
Yeah, that's because they're in the banana
gang.
racket. They're in a banana republic.
Oh.
I'll tell you about that, guys, in another episode. Maybe I'll tell that up in the zombie episode. Can I talk about banana republics?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Do you know,
if you can make it relevant to zombies.
I can make it relevant to American bastardization of culture.
I don't think that's really on topic.
Okay, so after the bananas, I added bitters. I did Peychaud's bitters and I did regular Angostura, 2 dashes of each. And then I did 2 ounces of plantation rum per person that you're making the drink for. I also did a little bit, like a drop, a teaspoon, not a teaspoon, an eyedropper of vanilla extract. Because I do remember when I was in Disneyland, I had this. And I remember pineapple and vanilla were the 2 flavors of the day. What do you guys taste?
I definitely taste pineapple.
Yeah. I do get some banana. But, it's not overwhelming. I think you really nailed the ratio there.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I was really worried about it.
It tastes good.
Yeah. So, can I tell you guys about?
Yeah, how would we hole on land on this drink,
Well, you were sending me garbage Disney drinks that were like made up by a 16-year-old girl.
Some of them look kind of good.
A 16-year-old girl who really was into like graphic design.
You know what's funny is that we should definitely put a link to those as well in the thing, because it's funny. I'm such a Disney guy that I've seen that list already.
Yeah.
Like a while ago. I was just like,
You guys are trashing it, but I'm sitting there.
Some of them are good.
Drinking the Jafar as you trash it. Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
It's a good drink. Looks cool too.
So the Dole Whip was invented by Dole either in 84 or 86. I had conflicting accounts. Dole took over sponsorship of Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room back in Disneyland in California. When it opened in 63, it was originally sponsored by United Airlines because Disney had his own company sponsoring the ride within Disneyland because Disneyland wouldn't let him have it. So he had a separate charge, a separate ticket. This is a whole thing. I'm not going to get into it.
It wasn't actually a ticket. You actually had to pay a full quarter real American money.
Yeah. Everything else you got, a ticket when you got entrance to the park. This one you had to pay on top of. It was an add-on. They originally only just sold like pineapple juice and fresh pineapple spears, but then they introduced the Dole Whip a decade later in 84 or 86. And it doesn't actually have any pineapple in it. It's dried pineapple powder and a bunch of smoothie stabilizers you'd find in, say, like a McDonald's ice cream machine, Slurpee, things like that. That's why it's really hard to recreate it one for one at home because it's very processed. The Dole Whip, it's interesting that we're talking about it as if people don't know it because I feel like it's everywhere right now. It's an obsession for Disney fans. Disney has some real fanatics, especially in Anaheim and in California, people who go every year. Anaheim has holders who go like 5 to 10 times a year because they live about 30 minutes away from it. And people just really, really want it. They make their own secondhand merchandise. There's some unofficial recipes. I think I saw like 55 links that were all credible unofficial recipes. And, there's over 3.4 million cups sold the last time they've done a census, which was in 2016. So that's a lot. That's a lot of Dole Whip. And people think it's Disney related, but anyone can license Dole Whip from Dole if they own a restaurant. That's one thing people don't really know, but there are other Dole Whip places besides Adventureland and Disney.
Huh.
Yeah. So like we could be, like if we had a restaurant, we could be making Dole Whip in our restaurant.
One day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather do it the way we did it than use the processed stuff and pay Dole. I'd rather call it like the Lex Whip or the Max Whip.
Are you saying you want to deviate from the actual recipe?
Yeah, I was going to say,
I would,
man.
Well, this is a deviation. This is our best recreation.
Right.
I will deviate from recipes when it means introducing fresher quality ingredients. The only thing I wouldn't consider fresh is frozen pineapple, but you're not going to get the froth without it being pre-frozen. Mm-hmm. The only thing I would do different if I had my own tiki bar and I had pineapple there is I would just freeze my own pineapple chunks. Yeah. So I know that they were frozen yesterday. They're not frozen for 3 months.
Right.
And that's such an important thing that I think you don't always see at restaurants is like the fresh fruit in a drink, like using like real fresh squeezed lime juice or like orange juice if there's orange juice in the drink, and they're just like,
put Tropicana or something.
Bullshit.
Yep.
Totally different drink at that
I'm
point.
so glad we agree on that because I thought
Yeah.
I was getting some opposition from you.
From there being fruit juice. being
Yeah, it's like
important?
I'm team fresh squeezed everything.
Oh yeah,
I am
absolutely.
Yeah, fresh squeeze for me is a big deal. Depending on what it is, like if I'm getting like apple or grape juice, yeah, I'll just buy the juice. But like orange juice, yeah, fuck yeah.
You
Fresh
don't have an
squeezed.
apple press
Nah.
in your apartment yet? Okay,
We'll get there.
we'll get
I
that.
actually planted a tree. About 6 years, we'll be getting fresh apples.
Nice.
I was wondering where he's going with that. So Disney, we all love Disney. People are fucking crazy about it. I'm gonna curse because I am not a Disney employee. I'm not a shill for Disney. I figure like we should talk about what D23 is before we get into the nuts and bolts of what they announced. D23. Oh, you guys can tell I did some research on this one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I list a quick Disney fact that I read?
Sure.
So the guy still alive who bought the first Disneyland ticket, because he was the first person to buy a ticket. His ticket was a lifetime ticket and also was able to invite up to 3 guests. So his entire life, he's had this one ticket that he can go to Disneyland and bring 3 people.
That is so heartwarming. I thought it was gonna be like, I saw some girl giving a blowjob at Disney once, and I thought it would be really like ridiculous.
I read an article. He's like really old now, but he has the ticket in a bag still.
Oh wow.
And, like because it's a little stub ticket.
Wait,
He didn't laminate it?
He has it in a bag.
The bag?
Yeah,
It's Bernie Sanders.
that's where he goes.
Yeah.
Just walks in with. But you think like in your 30s when Disneyland was popping and you had this ticket.
Disneyland didn't come out till the 60s.
No,
pal.
when you're 30, you
oh,
bought this ticket.
he had to have been a child.
No,
There's
yeah,
way he'd
he
be
bought it
alive.
when he was like 16 or 17,
Oh, cool.
and like when you're older, all your friends would always want to go and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Do you think he's ever been to the room that the club?
Club 23?
Is it
Club
20?
33?
Club
Yeah.
33?
Yeah, he's definitely been there.
You think so? Yeah.
Tell us what it is.
I don't really know, other than it's like a secret club that's inside of Disneyland.
Yeah, it's like if you're not a member. Well, first of all, I'm on the waiting list for Club 33.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just because there's spots that opened up and they're like, all right. But it takes you normally like 6 to 8 years to get to the top of the waiting list. So you do while you're young, you know?
And then they're gonna get you on top of the waiting list, and then they look at you and they're just be like, "Oh, we're not letting this asshole in."
Oh, they're gonna listen to
I wore the wrong shoes. They didn't let me in.
this, they're gonna listen. They're gonna listen to this podcast and be like, he's out.
No, they were not bringing this
Back
guy
to the
in.
bottom of the list. No, Club 33 is a secret club built in Main Street of Disneyland in Anaheim, and there's one in Walt Disney World, and you can go. And I think if you want to get tickets to go, like get in, and you're not a member, I think it's like between 1 and 10K just for the night to eat there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's funny. It's just the turkey legs.
No, it's not.
No? You
It's
got other
really not. It's very high end.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Depp hung out there a lot when he was doing the 3 Pirates movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that include your
that's kinda cool.
sides?
What?
Does that include your sides?
I think it's fixed price when you get in there.
Oh, the asparagus is 33. Sorry.
Everything is either $30, $33, or $330.
Yeah.
So D23 was the official Disney fan club. Started only in 2009. I thought it was much older than that. Its own biennial expo. I hope I'm saying that right. Biennial. It happens every other year. Named for 1923, the year the company was founded. So now that we know what D23 is, we can get into the meat and potatoes of how they save the world this weekend.
Why call it D23 though? I mean, I get that it's the year that it was founded. I just don't like that name.
They should have called it Disney Plus.
I mean,
Disney Plus,
It
yeah.
makes me
It's Disney,
think.
it was taken.
It makes me think this is the 23rd time it's happening,
No.
and next year it's going to be D24.
It makes me think of the 23rd sequel to the Mighty Ducks.
They could have called it Disney Expo.
I think they have a Disney Expo.
No, this is it. There's another expo that they do every other year.
It's the other. They do the
But
other.
there's
half
no
of the year?
guarantee that one happens every other year. It's just it's happened a lot of the off years of D23. I looked into it. There is some years where nothing happens, but
So Disney like totally bought into this and like
no, Disney sponsored it. They were
Okay.
like, someone's going to make a fan conference. We have to do it instead. Disney's favorite thing is taking what other companies do and just doing it and making it illegal for the other companies to do that. So like, for example, they don't want Uber on the Magic Kingdom property in Florida. So they came up with a concept called mini vans. And it's vans that are decorated to look like Minnie Mouse. And they're the only ways to go around the Magic Kingdom if you want to do a ride share.
I gotta say that's pretty good.
you can
Disney
get,
like-
It's so evil.
you can get plastered and just roll up in a Minnie Mouse van.
Yeah, but you can get plastered and take an Uber and you're giving money to another corporation.
We can't drink in the Magic Kingdom. They don't sell alcohol in the Magic Kingdom.
Other parks have,
You can drink
Yeah.
if you're brave enough.
they do say you can bring a flask and no one will stop you.
Yeah, I
but
read
they
that.
will
I think I read that same article.
They will totally stop you. Absolutely.
Every zoo is a petting
Depends
zoo
on
if you're
where you
brave
put
enough.
it.
I ever tell you, my cousin got kicked out of a bar at Disney with me there.
Oh, yeah?
He did Epcot drinks around the world, and he came back to his hotel room, and he was like, "Let's go to the bar." And I'm like, "You're cursing a lot." And he's like, "I can fucking curse." I'm like, "Dude, it's Disney.
It's Disney, man.
It's Disney. They're gonna kill you." And so yeah, we're getting too much into the meat of it. So do you guys want me to tell you the topics we're gonna cover today?
No.
Just stop right now. We're going somewhere else.
Podcast over. We did it. We did it, guys. We kept it brisk.
This
Just like
one
you've
was
been-
fast.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, so there's 4 segments. There's theme parks, Disney IPs, it's just the category of non-IPs that Disney didn't buy, Disney made. And then there's Marvel, of course, and then there's Star Wars. So for theme parks, the one thing I thought was super interesting was that they're doing a Star Wars hotel on park property. So you have to go into the park to check into your hotel, and you're never out of the park. It's a 2-night experience. You have to book for 2 nights, and it's called the Halcyon. It's made to look like it's a ship that's docked there, and you have a whole immersive experience where your character has like stats and levels up as they do things around the park, and people treat you differently based on the reputation you gain throughout the park.
That's really cool if it's done properly. Because Disney has had this thing where it was like an trading card game that you walk around and like you show the cards in certain places inside of Magic Kingdom. And it seemed really cool. I was excited about doing it. When I went down there, it was just like, meh. So depending on how they do this could be really sweet.
This is their answer to wands, I
Yeah.
think, at Harry Potter, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
That sounds really structured.
It is.
Like,
I mean, it's structured. Your nights are structured. Your day, you can do whatever you want.
okay,
I
because
think.
like, I feel like if something like this is too structured, it makes it not fun anymore.
I really do trust Disney in general when it comes to doing like finding a good balance. But
Right.
you might be right.
But you have to. But the person who signs up for this is going to be invested. So
I heard
they're
it's
gonna
$1,000 a
wanna do it.
night.
Fuck me. Really?
Wow.
Yeah, so it'd be 2,000.
Okay,
I mean,
man,
actually, not. I want to be like a critic. It's not far off for what it costs to go to Orlando or Disneyland. It's like we're going to Orlando this September, and it's costing me like $1,700.
A night?
No, not at the hotel, but just like all told.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
if your hotel tickets gets you park access and all this other shit.
But that's
Kinda
also
makes
that's 2
sense.
people though.
Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know if you pay per room or pay per person.
Because I paid for 2, and I think my total cost is like $1,400 or something like that.
Well, maybe if Disney hears us and loves us so much, they'll comp us some tickets and we'll tell everyone about it.
We loved it. Oh my god.
Oh my God, Disney's so great.
Or they won't, and we'll be like the guy in Collider who was like crying that he didn't get invited to Star Wars Expo, but the girls at his job did. And how dare women like Star Wars and not him? But yeah, so it's really fucking embarrassing if you're that guy. And he still has the podcast. Just shows you can never be canceled on podcasts, guys.
Yeah, let's not push that to the test.
So the next thing that
Cease and desist.
the next thing that I've been hearing, different opinions on is Avengers Campus. It's 2 locations, plus they have what they call the Xandarian Outpost in Orlando. Because anyone who knows theme parks knows that Disney cannot mention Marvel characters in Orlando because Universal has the rights in Orlando. Anything west of the Mississippi River, Disney has ownership of. Anything east of it, Disney does not.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so Universal owns Marvel rights. They bought them in '97. They own Marvel rights in Florida. Anything east of the Mississippi. And when Disney bought Marvel Studios, they got theme park rights everywhere else in the world besides the East Coast of America. So, no touchy.
So, okay. All right. So, wow.
At what point does Disney just like build a military and just take them?
Well,
Yeah,
Disney has their
right.
own government in Reedy Creek government facilities, or Reedy Creek Fire Department, Reedy Creek Police is all Disney owned in Orlando. Like the entire, I think 35 square miles of Orlando is owned by Disney and has their legislation, and they have buying power and to the mayor's office and stuff like that.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
We got to stop Disney.
That's why
before
they
it's too
don't
late.
want you spending any money in any outside companies besides their own. So
They just call it the economy down there.
So the Xandarian outpost.
Yeah. So the thing with this Xandarian, so this Avengers campus is in California. Then
the Avengers campuses, they have they're going to build a campus in California, in Anaheim, and they're going to build one in Paris, Disney Paris, Disneyland Paris. In Orlando, they already have a Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster coming to Epcot, because Guardians of the Galaxy was not a IP that was available for purchase when Universal bought Disney. So it's like when Universal bought Marvel. So it was a loophole. They can't use any characters that Universal hasn't already used. And Universal pretty much covered the gamut, where they had Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Hulk, Daredevil, Defenders, Avengers.
so all that stuff in Islands of Adventure is staying put. It's not
you
going
can't-
anywhere.
I mean, as much as Disney bloggers want to be like, Disney's taking it, there's no shot. That Spider-Man ride is mint. That's staying there
It's
forever.
really good. I love that. But
Oh, the Spider-Man ride
The
at
Hulk's the
Universal?
best,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's a, like, chef's kiss.
yeah.
That is the best. But yeah, so Guardians of the Galaxy, they have what they call a story coaster, where it's going to move at slower speeds throughout different parts of the ride, so you can experience some show scenes and rotate in over 360 directions. That's going to be in Epcot. So they call that the Xandarian Outpost, because the only characters they can do are Guardians. Then in both locations of Paris and California, they're going to have a Spider-Man ride, where it's a web shooting track ride. And then they have a lot of meet and greets and show scenes. They did some really cool stuff with Thor, like being able to create like a thunderstorm outside. It's really cool. And I think there's going to be an Avengers ride in California that is not going to open when the campus first opens, but it will have a really mixed team that would never be existing in the movies, because characters wouldn't have known each other. So like I saw like in the concept art, there's Hulk, Giant Man, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Thor, and Black Panther. They all weren't in the Avengers, and it's their movie uniform. So like the whole concept is the campus is like a place where people go to prove that they can also be Avengers themselves. Because let's be honest, the movies don't really have that many spectacular like production value places to make it. It'd basically just be New York.
Yeah. Or the one in upstate, which is basically just
That's what
a
they
field.
have. They have the
Yeah.
headquarter upstate, but that's like really boring. I've seen bank offices that look more interesting than that.
Yeah.
And these will be all mixed reality rides, basically.
What do you mean?
Like most of the rides in Universal, they're all a lot of them are mixed reality.
Oh, like
Motion,
3D motion.
3D.
Right. Yeah, a lot of them are simulators. Yeah, so now that's everything that's fit to print on theme parks. I mean, there's like Moana and Frozen stuff, but we don't need to talk about that. So the non-franchise announcements, the Disney IP, is that they now casted in Frozen. I don't know if anyone cares about this.
Nope.
Pass?
I think we could.
I actually care about
Just say it, but
Frozen. Frozen's
so is
pretty
this like a
dope.
live action Frozen?
No. They're just Frozen 2.
Frozen 2.
Oh, yeah. Frozen
Have you seen
2.
that trailer? It's dope.
Frozen 2? Yeah, no, it looks pretty cool.
It's kind of cool that it's like Sub-Zero, but a princess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's Sterling K. Brown and Evan Rachel Wood have joined the cast. Evan Rachel Wood from Westworld and, what's the one? Across the Universe. She's going to be playing their mother, who's deceased, or is she?
Or is she? Well, she's lost at sea.
Yep.
That throws the Tarzan theory out of the water.
Yeah, no, that's the first thing I thought too. You want to tell us about that?
So, you see the first Frozen, Taylor?
Yes.
Where her parents get lost at sea?
Yeah.
Some people believe in the Disneyverse that those were Tarzan's parents who got lost in Africa, and they had Tarzan. Sadly, Tarzan did not have powers. He just didn't ever grow a beard. And
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well,
I never really thought about that. Well, not everyone can grow a beard.
I mean, he's really lucky that if you're raised by apes to have no hair in your body.
Yeah.
So there's another movie they're doing called Raya and the Last Dragon. I didn't do my research on this one. It just had a really cool looking logo. Do your own research if you're
kind of
interested.
reminded me of How to Train Your Dragon.
Not at all to me. I saw
The
very
logo?
like Asian influence there. How to Train Your Dragon seemed very
Well, the
like,
logo.
Celtic to me.
Viking. Vikings.
Oh yeah, Vikings. Sorry. There's another movie called Onward, which the trailer's already out for. The teaser's already out for. It's Tom Holland and Chris Pratt as like elves in a world where like they're in modernity, but it's all fantasy creatures like minotaurs and gnomes and
Oh yeah,
unicorns.
it's in the it's
like
it's
Zootopia.
in 2019.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
basically
like
Zootopia, but with mythological creatures.
like Lord of the Rings, but today.
Everyone's on their cell phone. That's the worst idea. Imagine Lord of the Rings, but with cell phones.
Sauron just tracks you down with your Find My Phone.
Find my friend. It's like, oh, he's right there.
There's Frodo.
It's like Frodo. It's like, I didn't even see the movie, but I know like Frodo and Bilbo would be like, why didn't you tag me in this?
Oh yeah, they're very much like that.
So there's another movie called Pixar's Soul. Which I think is kind of inevitable because like every single series is like, what if toys had feelings? What if monsters had feelings? Inside Out's like, what if feelings had feelings? And then it's like, what if a soul has feelings?
I think they're getting darker.
Like what if
Like, thematically,
Pixar's
there's, like,
soul is like the soul that injects itself into all these things and makes it
Oh,
life.
it's like we're really trying to like make all these things connect into a larger.
And they were
metaverse.
like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
But like, you know, like in the Matrix when Neo meets the architect and he like swivels around and it's just an old guy in a suit.
Hello, Neo.
I want to see like all the Disney characters find the architect and it's just a pile of money in a chair.
yeah.
You were all made for money. And then there's another movie called, another Maleficent sequel with live action Angelina Jolie. I forget who else.
A real Angelina Jolie, not a CGI Angelina.
Her
Jolie.
cheeks are fake.
They don't look real now.
She looks dope though. It's a good
Nothing
movie.
about her looks real.
She's kind of like
The
as
first
she's getting older.
Maleficent really blew me away though. I
was
was like
really
really
good.
impressed. Yeah, yeah.
And that was what's the girl? Emma L. Fanning.
I'm gonna
the
say
actress.
yes.
Yes.
I know you're talking about. I remember her. What she
I'm
did.
nodding. It's a podcast.
Yeah. Right. He's acknowledging.
Yeah. So we're going to not talk about that. Lady and the Tramp. I think we've talked about this in a reboot episode. They showed the first trailer. Okay.
Well, yeah, they didn't.
Neat.
They didn't show the trailer by the time we talked about it. They had showed it.
No, I'm saying they showed it at D23.
Yeah. I think the biggest, like when I watched that trailer is when I first saw because I sent you guys a picture of it. It's not that I sent you the logo of Lady and the Tramp. It says streaming December 12th. It says that at the bottom.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like, that's how democracy dies. No more theaters. We're just going to stream it.
Well, I think maybe the reason, I think there's a different
You've been
reason.
talking about this the whole time.
Yeah, but I think the reason they're streaming Lady and the Tramp is I think they realized that it wasn't good enough to put in theaters.
Look good.
But
I thought the trailer was good.
it looked okay. Then there's a Cruella prequel. Cruella DeVille, the villain from 101 Dalmatians, played by Emma Stone, a younger version of the character. I'm just going to ask this. I have it written down. Who asked for this?
That's a really good
It
question.
looked like a rap video when she was like holding the dogs.
Oh my God.
Like, did you guys see the picture?
No, I didn't see it.
She looks like a rap video.
We should put the picture on our Instagram. Just like submit it without context, and we'll also put
Emma
pictures of all
Stone
the.
dropping a new album circa 2020.
It looked like if Lady Gaga or Katy Perry decided they wanted to be, Cruella DeVille in one of their costumes for a music
Yeah.
video.
I will say I didn't recognize Emma Stone in the costume. She looks a lot different.
Nah, it still looks like she's judging me.
Oh, you don't like her? I love her.
Do you?
Love her. Yeah.
I bet she lives in the Upper West Side.
She could.
She definitely does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to go look.
There's
for
a
her.
giant billboard of her next to my office. And I just don't like it. I already have, there's already enough New York City women just making angry faces at people. I don't think we need her doing that.
Would she poke you with her finger and move you out of the way?
I hate that. Okay, so now my last topic to cover. Well, my last one.
second to last.
Yeah, no, you guys are going to take the next one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is my last one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Marvel announcements. Cool. I can't talk about it. You guys have to talk about it. I'm just going to tell you the news and you guys can just nod and then we'll be done and our listeners will hate us. Black Panther 2.
Woo! Looks like a liar to me. No.
May 6th, 2022. Anyone have any thoughts on it?
So I see you wrote here Namor. What?
The first topic to make me talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I just think it's interesting that
But
they're
you put the thing there.
Oh, I put the note for myself after.
Is that like the hidden plot point where it's about Namor and Atlantis and stuff?
Well, I'm thinking that because Black Panther 2, Marvel's really tried to move away from calling the sequels, like numbering their sequels. They always give like a title. I think they're keeping the title secret because it's going to make press, and they wanted it to just.
It's a strategy now.
Yeah.
It
So
feels
now
like.
so I feel like they're going to change it and be like, it's going to be like War of Kings or something because Namor and Black Panther are each,
Rulers
of giant, mighty, post-human kingdoms.
Yeah.
And they sometimes brush against each other and they sometimes, punch for a bit, then they're mates.
Are they still? Who are they eyeing for Namor? Do you
They
know?
haven't officially announced that Namor's even going to be in it. This is just my speculation based on the fact that they didn't give it a title.
If they announce like Keanu Reeves or something as Namor, I'll lose my mind.
So the fact that they're calling it Black Panther 2, you jump to they're doing this because they're hiding Namor.
No, I jumped to they're doing this because the title is a spoiler of something.
No, I know, but the implication being that they're doing it because of Namor specifically.
Yeah, it's not one leap of logic. It's like 7.
Yeah, no, it's a couple big.
You
know
will
what it is?
find out
It's like
in the
when you
trailer.
play checkers and like you jump like all.
I was
going to
walk the audience through it. I just put the note to remind myself.
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking this. This is
Because
how
I was so excited. I saw that there, and
Yeah,
I was
Taylor-
like, "Oh, did you just see
Taylor-
like an end?"
Well,
You know,
Ruined his story.
There is,
Yeah, right.
Scott Derrickson, the director of Doctor Strange, did post a screenshot of Namor from the comics, and it's not the first time. People have been mentioning Atlantis for a while in interviews. So I just took the next logical step. I said, what could they do to expand Black Panther's world? And I figured do what Marvel movies have been doing a lot of lately, which is introduce a new team, new hero for them to fight, and then they team up with later.
yeah, and Namor's a good one because he's
Arrogant.
Yeah, he's arrogant.
He's literally the exact opposite of T'Challa.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're both strong geniuses. So
Yeah, but T'Challa's really empathetic, and Namor's not.
yeah.
I get tired of them all being a genius. At
Yeah.
what point can you just be a regular guy with superpowers?
That's the thing, basically.
They're all geniuses.
Everyone's smart except the Thing, who they have to explain things to. Spider-Man No More, famous comic book title. I'll tell the news. Marvel lost the rights to produce Marvel branded Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to say that the right way.
So it wasn't at
It's-
D23, is what you're
No,
saying.
but he Tom Holland was
But he was
talking
there.
about
Yeah.
Onward, and they asked him, and he's just basically like, "It sucks, but we'll move on."
So there's a really funny video of Tom Holland talking about this issue and other stuff, and he keeps looking off screen because he's looking to his PR person saying, "Is this what I'm supposed to be saying about this character?"
They are so coached at this.
And it's like I mean, how much is, I don't know, does he really? I guess he cares a lot, but like he doesn't know the deal as
Yeah.
much as people think he does.
Yeah, it's kind of like knowing like the CEOs of your companies that you work for.
You don't really know
What's
what-
happening.
in those meetings. They're all just products.
Well, what are you guys' thoughts on this?
I think that the new Spider-Man movies that they're gonna make are gonna be difficult to get that tone back, but I think if they keep making them, it'll
Do you
probably
think
be good.
Disney was being a dick?
We could talk all day about that.
Yeah.
I don't
Real
want to
quick,
do that.
just real quick.
I think that it comes down to the fact that we're both like intractable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think either side is necessarily the worst of the two.
Right.
But you got to imagine that Disney is the one that holds most of the cards here.
Well, I look, they both are probably, there's a lot of shit on both sides, but I just looked at it like Disney saying like, I want to raise. I've been doing good. I don't, it could be, anyways, it doesn't matter.
I see it as Disney being pieces of shit and ruining a good thing. But same time, they'll be able to turn characters like Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy into arguably just as welcome and big characters as Spider-Man was like 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah. I think that's one of my fears
Is
that
Disney doing that or are they just funding that?
Yes.
Like, because
Disney employees are doing it.
Well,
and Disney
Marvel's
employees
doing
Yeah,
it.
Marvel's
Kevin
doing it, but
Feige is doing
Kevin
all of
Feige
it.
is a Disney employee.
True, but he was Marvel first.
Understood, but now he's Disney.
They just own them.
They also have to encourage, support, enable, pay for. They have their own, like they have. I'm not getting into it.
Is there any topics like what do you think is going to happen next? Like,
They're gonna bring out. They're gonna do exactly what they did in Amazing Spider-Man and just bring out all these characters.
Yeah.
So that Sony can be like, look at all these Spider-Man characters we own.
Yeah.
Fuck you. No.
They're gonna make another Green Goblin villain.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like,
I would love to see Green Goblin, especially if it was my boy McConaughey. That's who I want
Matthew McConaughey is Green Goblin.
as Norman Osborn.
He could do it.
He'd be both.
just 3 times, really?
Three. I don't count Amazing Spider-Man because I didn't see that.
It was there. They tried again.
Yeah.
Well,
They keep
it's kind of like
they keep like pulling the same.
It's kind of
little
like Daredevil
file.
with the Kingpin. It's kind of like Daredevil with the Kingpin or Doctor Doom with Fantastic Four. You have to do it. It's just what it is. All right, so Black Widow. You also have to do it because Scarlett Johansson asked for it. They showed a trailer and they showed some of the costumes of the main characters. They had a poster. It shows most of the cast and David Harbour, our boy from Stranger Things, as a character called Red Guardian, who I'll admit I know nothing about.
I assume that he's a Soviet.
Yeah.
That's the best I got. I don't know anything about him. He kind of looks. I mean, I've seen the artwork that he looks like a Soviet Captain America.
Yeah.
This is what happened after Stranger Things. They took him to
Yeah, right.
They churned him.
So we're gonna connect a Frozen to Tarzan to Stranger Things to the Pixar movies.
I'm going to connect this to politics. Spider-Man and Marvel thing, it's like our own little personal Brexit.
But that one's taking forever and may never happen.
No, the negotiations are not done.
That's true.
Yeah, until the Spider-Man movie comes out and it's got the Sinister Six.
What if there is fucking like this is like Feige messing with us, and then they're just like, nah, just kidding. Like we were actually together the whole time.
He's got a really good reputation of not being a jerk and saying misleading things.
Yeah,
He's
no,
gone
but
on
what if
record.
it's like for the goof.
I don't know. Black Widow, we see David Harbour. They showed us a lot of suits. She has a black suit that looks more like what she wears in the other movies. It's like black with striping. They have a black and gold, which looks just like the one in the comics. I love that one. And they had a mannequin with a white suit. So I guess White Widow. Yeah, because Black Widow sometimes wears white when she's in the Arctic. So it just shows they want to sell a lot of toys.
So it's gonna be cold.
I've heard that so much, man.
What?
But all this new stuff, it's like all these different versions and suits. It's just selling toys.
I mean, I like that with Iron Man because it made
true.
sense for his character to keep improving.
Yeah,
And Captain America, they found a lot of good reasons for him to keep changing his suit every movie.
yeah.
Even if he just kept putting on the old sweaty first one.
If he got aged or something, because it's his only suit he has when he's on the run and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, and like he rolled up the sleeves. And
It makes sense.
He ripped the A's off all the shoulders. You could see he ripped the A's off the patches. That was cool. Like in Infinity War, he had no Avengers stuff on his suit. Because he's like, fuck Avengers.
What?
In Infinity War, he has no Avengers logos on his shoulders or chest. He ripped all the patches off.
Why?
Because he's Nomad.
Oh, Infinity War. I'm thinking of
Endgame.
and I'm just like, that's a really weird twist in this movie.
So Eternals, again, not my favorite upcoming franchise. They have time to prove me wrong.
Yeah, it can't get around the idea of just thinking that it is yet another version of that god awful TV show that they made.
Oh, Inhumans?
Inhumans.
That's what I think it is. I just feel like they keep throwing big names at it. So the latest names to put into it are Gemma Chan, Barry Keoghan. He's Irish, so I hope I pronounced that. And they're joining as Cersei and Druig, respectively. Gemma Chan was also already Minerva in Captain Marvel, the blue-skinned assassin. So this is like one of the first times, besides Alfred Woodard, that Marvel's intentionally cast an actor in multiple roles, in the different roles in their universe.
Maybe she's a Skrull.
Isn't Kit Harington in this too?
Kit Harington.
Yeah, they announced him. He's going to be the Black Knight.
Yeah.
That's a big, big, big announcement because apparently he's huge, like a big character.
Well, he's also he's also a knight and a king, and for a long he died one time,
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
No idea.
and then it sucked.
You really don't know who Kit Harington is at all?
I've never seen anything with him in it. I just know he's from Game of Thrones.
You've never seen any Game of Thrones?
I saw the first 2 episodes.
Okay, so you just saw something with him in it.
Yeah, he was just someone who didn't get a puppy.
He gets a pup.
Or he did get the puppy. Okay.
I just feel like there's certain actors that act the same in everything they do. It's just gonna be Jon Snow in a Marvel movie.
Did you ever see the skit that he did on that late night show?
And he was acting like Jon Snow.
He's acting like Jon Snow, and they're at like a dinner party. It's hysterical.
It was good. I saw that.
Yeah, you would love it.
Sure.
I'll watch it with you.
I'm just looking at my notes. So Loki's another show that's going to be on Disney Plus. They said it's going to be 6 episodes. I think all of them are going to be 6 episodes until I hear different. They announced a director, Sex Education. I think it's a Netflix show. Kate Herron, the director of Sex Education. She'll be the showrunner and director for all 6 episodes.
Do you think that the logo animation for Loki is a reflection of what's going to be happening in the show?
Absolutely. How else can you explain that god-awful design?
It just keeps changing.
I actually like it. I think it's like...
It's not that bad.
It's not bad. I mean, if they wanted it to be really bad, they should have made it worse on purpose. Like what they do for like the Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming inserts where they make like everything Comic Sans and like meme. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Anything to say about Loki?
That I'm excited for it, and I'm surprised that they're having one director for all the episodes. Because even most shows, they have different directors for different episodes.
It's going to prove my theories. That's all that's going to happen.
What's your theory?
Oh, time travel.
Oh, the thing that we talk about, the time travel
All the time. We always bring a few weeks.
Yeah,
Bring it up.
After this, we'll talk about it again.
Oh, so
I got new evidence.
I think the reason they're doing one director for a lot of these shows is because I think they're kind of leaning into let's make it like a movie. It just so happens to be 6 hours. So they give it a movie schedule and they give it a movie budget, and it just happens to be a 6-hour cut.
Yeah, we were talking about this recently. That I think that the idea here is that they want to create not just like the TV as being just as good as movies, but like
TV
maybe
as
even
movies.
better.
TV as movies.
Right. Or even more so. Like doing like, we want to make a 6-hour movie.
Do you guys believe this where they say like, when they're making a movie, they're under a lot of constraints for story and plot and how it actually, the narrative plays
Yeah,
out?
because they only have an hour and a half to 2 hours to make the
Right.
story make sense.
And like they have a formula that makes money and they want to keep that formula. But with TV, they can do wilder things.
Yeah, you can have a bottle episode, or you can, for those who don't know, a bottle episode is when the cast is all in the same location and all they do is kind of like bicker internally.
Or like one episode is they go completely somewhere else.
Yeah, or one episode's about one character in an ensemble instead.
Like where Elle goes to Chicago in one episode in
Yeah.
Stranger Things and
Yeah.
was random as shit, but then comes back.
Yeah, or like the episode there's always an episode where like they lock each other themselves in the closet and they have to like iron out their shit. There's always that episode. I think Clerks, the animated series, made fun of that where they locked themselves in the freezer.
Yeah, they did.
But it was their second episode. So only thing they could
didn't have any
flash back
memories
to
for- yeah.
was the first That's so fucking funny.
Clever guy. Clever.
Sometimes I remember things as I talk to you guys about it, and it makes me laugh. So Loki, I'm pretty excited for it. Falcon and Winter Soldier, probably my second most excited thing. I'll change my opinion as I go down this list. They had a poster. It was boring. It was lackluster, I wrote here. Carrie Skoglund is the director. She directed like The Handmaid's Tale, Walking Dead, The Americans, basically every like big Emmy-winning show. She's directed an episode or two for it. And she's going to do all 6 episodes. There's more cast announced. Sharon Carter is back. Emily Van Camp is joining the cast. She's going to be a series regular. And then they also got joined by this guy, Wyatt Russell, who's from Overlord and a bunch of other things. He's going to be playing U.S. Agent.
Cool.
U.S. Agent? That's what it's called?
That's his name.
That's the character's name?
You guys never played Marvel vs. Capcom
Negative.
Yeah. And Iron Man had a proton cannon that never showed up.
in the movie?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of. That's kind of what he does when he puts all his
That was
blasters
bullshit.
together.
It wasn't.
No, you never played U.S. Agent? Okay, forget it. U.S. Agent is basically...
Well, what is he? Tell me about him.
When Captain America was Nomad in the 70s and 80s in the comics, I believe it's 70s and 80s, he was Nomad, where he kind of disapproved of the government and espionage and Reaganomics, and he wanted to be his own thing. And so the government's like, we need a Captain America. We can do it better. And they made this one guy, like I think his name was John Wilson or something like that, the new Captain America. And he started going a little bit crazy. Captain America took his mantle back, as they always do, and then he became U.S. Agent.
Oh, I do remember this now. Yeah.
And I think the plot of this is that Falcon and Winter Soldier are neither allowed to be Captain America because the government kind of owns him. And this guy's like, this is the new Captain America. And they're like, what the fuck?
Well, or that they start calling themselves Captain America, and then he's just like, well, fuck you, I'll be U.S. Agent.
No, I'm Captain America. No,
Yeah.
I'm Captain America.
All we know is they better give him some super soldier serum quick, or this is not going to play out like Captain can normally do it.
Okay.
Aircraft or something.
Malcolm Spellman and Derek Kolstad are writers. The only reason I mention that is because Derek Kolstad was the writer of John Wick, the first one. That's exactly the kind of energy I think you need in a Captain America Winter Soldier.
It's action packed.
Oh, yeah. That's what you want. I'm pretty excited for it. You can't tell.
Did you know that Wyatt Russell was a ice hockey player?
Cool.
Yeah,
I bet Anthony Mackie was not.
probably not. I don't know. Maybe.
So, WandaVision.
WandaVision. That's going to be the thing, you know.
They're taking that from us. Disney, you do not own this.
You not?
That's my actual most anticipated. They had a new poster. It showed the 1950s sitcom aesthetic, very I Love Lucy, but in the shadows was their comic book representations in silhouette. There was more I Love Lucy music playing, like very 50s retro, Tomorrow World music. Matt Sheckman was cast as the director. Has been made director. He's directed Fargo and The Boys, and a bunch of other really well-known stuff. A lot of casts for it.
Which I'm real excited about this cast.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
I think from the Marvel stuff, WandaVision is the coolest shit they have.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
There was production. This was not a D23, but they were starting to make sets for WandaVision. And one thing you can see, they're making out of like this giant plywood set. You can definitely see it's the arc reactor from Iron Man 1. The giant one from Stark Industries. Because it has that circular shape, and it's like this massive ring.
Tony Stark made this in a cave.
And Vision's gonna make it as like a cock ring.
Oh,
himself.
that is.
So the cast.
Okay, the cast.
Speaking of cock ring,
First of all, Kat Dennings, we apologize in advance for.
no, we don't.
No, I love her. She's
So
great.
Kat Dennings, yes, you took the cat out of the bag. Kat Dennings is back as Darcy, not as a new character, as Darcy. You might remember from the first 2 Thor movies if you watched them. Randall Park is back as Jimmy Woo, the bumbling magician / police officer, or is FBI agent from Ant-Man and the Wasp. He's got a big thing going on. Randall Park.
Fucking love Randall Park.
He's in everything.
He's great. That
He was-
Netflix movie that
He
they
was
made.
Jim.
That's what I was saying. He was
He was Jim, yeah.
Asian Jim. In the
He had
office.
that great run for all those seasons as Jim in The Office.
That's got to be the thing he gets recognized for the most.
That's what people say. They're like, "Oh, it's Jim. It's so great." But he's amazing. He was really great in that. Like I said, the Netflix movie. And I don't know. Every time I see him, he makes me smile.
I'm like, this is like legitimate. It's hard for me to talk. I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Asian Jim.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So, Catherine Hahn is also joining WandaVision. She's a new character, supposedly.
Whom I don't know who she is.
Catherine Hahn?
Yeah.
She was the wife in Step Brothers.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. The
Who
mom.
like molests, not
Oh,
the
no,
mom,
no.
the one who molests Dale.
Yeah.
Who's
Guys,
cheating? Yeah.
guys can't get molested.
Stop.
Canceled.
Yep. So,
One per episode.
also, Marvel decided they wanted to show off some like images from What If, their new animated series, anthology series. And they showed what if Sharon Carter was Captain America instead of Steve Rogers, where basically she becomes Captain Britain. And they also showed, they also acknowledged that they will be doing Marvel Zombies,
Wow.
which I guess we could talk about next week.
Yeah, talk
I
about
mean,
next week.
in an hour.
Right.
Yeah. And then they have some new Disney Plus series because they were not done yet at Comic-Con. They had more. It's like order in the next 20 minutes. Order Disney Plus in the next 20 minutes.
But
We'll
wait,
also throw in.
There's more.
You get a second, Sticky Buddy. Wow. Forget it.
Sorry, Flex Tape can't fix that.
What? Yeah.
Flex Tape can't fix that.
Yeah. It's funny. I think of like Slapshot.
All right.
Yeah. So that's all garbage.
No, it's terrible. Terrible.
That's garbage. So the new Disney Plus series is, they announced in, I believe this is the order they announced it in. Miss Marvel.
Photon.
No.
Well, it's going to be her daughter.
No. That's the woman that's in WandaVision. Photon is in WandaVision.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Photon is Miss Captain Marvel's best friend's daughter.
Who the hell's Miss Marvel?
Miss Marvel is Kamala Khan, Pakistani Indian girl from New Jersey who has the ability to enlarge any part of her body.
Oh.
So she normally just makes her hand into a giant.
Oh, Max.
You can't say that without like.
I mean, I'm just reading the paper. Have you ever seen Cockknocker from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Yes.
Mark Hamill's character?
Uh-huh.
She kind of looks like that most of the time.
Okay.
But she idolizes Captain Marvel, so she calls herself Ms. Marvel. And she's from New Jersey, so she's terrible.
Yeah, no, garbage character.
Yep. She's a copycat and a hater.
Okay.
No, I actually really do like the character. I like what she represents, which is like the fangirl.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Kind of like what Spider-Man is for the universe. This is not going to happen until after Hawkeye, so like it's still a ways away.
Okay.
Yeah. If any of this stuff happens, like for all we know, Disney Plus could fold in like 6 months,
Yeah.
like the DC universe did.
I feel like they've got enough money to keep it chucking for a couple years if they really wanted to.
Yeah, they're sinking enough money into it that like they'll keep the lights on. They'll just make money on minivans. So then the next thing they announced was She-Hulk. The internet is furious.
Why?
I thought it was cool.
I think it's awesome. I was reading a lot on Twitter about how fanboys are like, why does there have to be a female version of everything?
But there was She-Hulk.
That
She was a
sounds
very big
like
character.
not fanboys, but idiots on Twitter.
Yeah, people don't know about that. She's a lawyer and a lesbian. And
She's a lesbian or bisexual?
I thought she was lesbian, but maybe she's bisexual. I
Every
don't
girl
know.
on the internet's a lesbian, aren't they, Taylor?
Bye.
They're all lesbian until they meet me.
Oh, come on, man.
We can't even have
Jesus
zombies.
Christ.
We can't even have zombies. This
Yeah.
guy's killing it. So she's a lawyer? Tell me about that.
Well, she got a law degree, and now she practices law. And that's the extent of what I know about her being a lawyer.
She's she's always in She-Hulk form. She's smart. She's like Smart Hulk. She's not like crazy, like destroy everything.
I do know
and
that
she's cousins with Bruce Banner.
Yeah. I think he gave her a blood transfusion, which is a really dumb thing to do if you're Bruce Banner.
I think that it was like really extenuating circumstances.
Well, he gave her a blood transfusion. She became the Hulk, but because she doesn't have the psychological disorders he has from an abusive father, she can choose whether or not she wants to be the Hulk at any time.
No, I think she's always the Hulk.
No, she can choose, and she decides that she likes being the Hulk better.
I don't know if that's true in all instances of the character.
I'm
but
almost
maybe.
100% sure.
Yeah.
She chose to be strong all the time.
She chose to look like the Hulk as well. I mean, she doesn't change that as much as Bruce does. She really just gets like a lot of tone and a little bit taller and green and with green hair.
And
is
she
a
can
fox.
lift cars and throw them.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
not as powerful as the Hulk though.
Right. But his whole thing is that he's powered by rage, so.
Yeah. Cool thing about her is that when Matt Murdock, a famous Marvel lawyer, gets arrested, she represents him.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So you didn't know that she was a lawyer.
I did. I was being a host.
Oh, very clever. It was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And I was just like, shit, man.
This is my body. Take it and eat it.
Okay. Come on, you guys.
I don't see why people would get upset over this. Know about She-Hulk?
Oh, She-Hulk. I thought you were talking about his weird reference to being Jesus. Because he said
I'm the host.
he's the host.
Well, I'm the host and you're the parasites. That's what we'll put in there instead.
that's better. Yeah.
So She-Hulk, I'm pretty sure they're going to make it a legal procedural, which I'd be really happy about.
That's so cool. I love that.
So I heard a rumor that can't be verified because no one literally knows anything about this show yet. That like in the comics, She-Hulk knows she's in a comic, similar to Deadpool. She breaks the fourth wall and is very aware that she's in a comic book. So what I think to do a spin on that, they might be having it so that she's in like a reality TV show or a reality legal procedural, and she knows that she's in it and always winking to the camera and talking to the camera.
That's a smart way to do it.
Yeah, I like that. Kind of like the Office.
Yeah,
but
like a talking head. That's what they. That's
what
what
a
they call
weird
it.
time. Like if I had to explain to a young Taylor Mace, would be like, yeah, actually, they're gonna make a TV show about She-Hulk, and it's weird, but you'll love it.
It's like The Office.
You know
Yeah.
what character she weirdly reminds me of?
Who
Leela from Futurama.
makes sense. Similar,
yeah,
similar disposition.
tough, and
She was a lawyer at one point on a show.
yeah, single white female.
Who would you get to play She-Hulk?
Single white female? No.
Single female lawyer.
Single female lawyer. That's
Yeah.
it.
Would you guys make her CGI or just like a really?
She has to be CGI.
No, you could just do a really big, like muscle bound girl, like a Ronda Rousey, or like a Gina Carano.
Ronda Rousey, I don't think is that big.
They
No,
did
but you
that
just need
with
a
the Hulk
you
in,
put
like, the
you put them
80s.
on heels or apple boxes, and you make like big as in toned, pink and green.
And like, just do what they did with like Gamora.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll look the same though.
Gamora's not ripped; she just has super strength.
She's toned.
Gamora doesn't have super. She does in the comics.
She
but
lifts the gun from the ship,
Yeah.
and it's like 8 times her size.
It's made out of carbon metal. It's light.
Whatever.
Just carbon metal. That's
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Very cool.
Science
It
with
exists.
Max.
Well, the last thing they announced, Moon Knight.
Yeah, it's gonna be real fucking cool. Either you know what though,
Marvel, Batman.
Moon Knight, one of the darker kind of comics out of the Marvel world. So
Absolutely.
I don't know how Disney's gonna handle that.
Subtly.
Yeah, you hope so.
Maybe if they just go for it, just
I'd
like
love
make it
to,
dark,
but I don't know.
Make a show we like to watch. Look at the boys. It's so
Yeah,
so
but
gritty.
they
and
have
going.
they have a no rated R policy for Disney Plus. Does anyone here want to talk about Moon Knight? Tell me who he is.
He's a very similar to Batman in the sense that he's rich and he stalks around at night, but he's schizophrenic. He has multiple personalities. I don't know how much of that comes up in the comic, or they'll get off into that. Yeah,
I read a lot. I have literally shelves of Moon Knight comics in that room over there.
Can I borrow one?
yeah. Actually, I'll take one too.
Yeah, it's a great run, but it's super confusing if you don't know Moon Knight. It was done in 2006 with David Finch as the artist, who also draws Batman now, and Charlie Huston as the writer. Moon Knight was invented as a villain for Werewolf by Night. He was kind of like how Punisher was a Spider-Man villain and got his own comic book. Moon Knight was a Werewolf by Night villain. A Werewolf by Night was basically just the Wolf Man, but in present day. And Moon Knight was one of his villains. And later on, Moon Knight was so popular they gave him his own series, and they expanded on how he got his powers. He was a mercenary. He was in a group of mercenaries that was helping be security for an archaeological dig in Egypt. He had a change of heart when they were going to kill the scientists and the daughter of the scientist that he was falling in love with. And so they gunned him down in the middle of the Egyptian dig site. And he believes he was brought back to life and reanimated by the Egyptian moon god, Khonshu, who is also the god of vengeance. No one else seems to believe this but him. And different writers make it so that he's either crazy or not crazy. But apparently he has some like superb level powers where he has like a little bit higher strength, speed, agility. He can survive. He can't be killed because the moon god just keeps bringing him back to life, which he may never be dying. It could all be in his head. He's very crazy. Everyone thinks he's very crazy. It's one of those it's like Fight Club. Mm-hmm. That's how I imagine them going through this. The great thing about it is that, so he's a mercenary and he was a boxer and was all these things. So he knows his way around his old fisticuffs, you know? But the cool thing is that when he got the powers of Khonshu and came back to New York, Khonshu was able to help him manipulate the stock market, and he became a billionaire within weeks. So he gave himself a lair and a moon copter shaped like a moon, a crescent moon, an all-white suit with a hood, I'll call them batarangs, but they're like moon boomerangs, and a staff, and like carbon fiber fighting suit, and he has a butler who's also his gay best friend, Frenchie, who is kind of racist. I don't think they'll do that. And the cool thing about it is that he created a lot of personalities to infiltrate the underworld, just like Batman often as a detective has matches Malone, and he has his Bruce Banner persona. He has the Steve Grant billionaire persona. He has the Jake Lamont is a cab driver. He has a stolen cab that he just drives around and picks up criminals and gives them rides, and he hears what they say in the back of the car, and that's how he gets his way in. And what ends up happening is that he stops knowing whether or not he is Steve, Jake, Mark. His name is Mark, or Moon Knight, or Khonshu. And he starts to get really confused, and he sees Khonshu everywhere, and he talks to people that aren't there. It's really interesting. I just like that character really a lot. Cool.
It kind of reminds me a little bit about Legion.
Absolutely.
Like mental illness. And
so they could take this show in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd prefer them going more like a Fight Club, David Fincher type realm than Legion, because I think WandaVision is going to be really Legion-esque as far as the way that reality and camera editing are going to be a huge factor.
Like, they could start this guy off as...
But like an unreliable narrative.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
There was a pretty good comic panel I saw on Twitter when this got announced, where it was Punisher and Moon Knight walk up to each other in an alleyway. And Punisher walks up and goes, "Hey, Mark, how you doing? Still crazy?" And he goes, "Yep." "How you doing, Frank? Family still dead?" He's like, "Yep."
Oh, man, that's dark.
Put it on a shirt.
Yeah.
You motherfucker.
No, but dude, Moon Knight was my jam when I was... Because that artist, David Finch, not David Fincher, but David Finch was my guy. He's an amazing artist, and that run is very, very gritty. There's a character, Moon Knight's favorite nemesis, the mercenary who left him for dead in Egypt, came back. His name is Bushman, and he took his crescent moon batarang and carved the skin off of his face, like that John Travolta, Nick Cage movie.
Face Off.
Yeah, and he ripped his face off in an alley because they both fell from an alley and they both were squirming on the ground with their legs broken. But since Khonshu was healing Moon Knight, he could crawl over to him and carve his face off, and rips his face off. So he's like a kind of like Taskmaster, where he's like a skeleton face that's constantly bleeding. And so whenever Moon Knight goes to talk to Khonshu, he appears in the form of the faceless Bushman. So he's always talking to this skeleton face bleeding man in his apartment, in his bedroom, in his basement, in his helicopter.
Sounds totally sane.
When he's fighting other criminals.
Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's absolutely batshit crazy.
Right.
This
Spider-Man
the guy?
calls him Mooney.
Mooney.
Yeah, Mooney.
That sounds
cute.
like it could be. I mean, like I said, they go in a lot of different ways. It sounds cool.
Keanu.
Yeah.
Well, he has to be Jewish, unfortunately. Not unfortunately for the character. I'm saying, like, I don't think Keanu is Jewish, but he'd be a great Moon Knight. Cool.
Nice. Moving on. Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's some Star Wars.
I
stuff.
feel like the Star Wars was really a big
I
thing.
think I was more excited for the Star Wars stuff, honestly,
Right.
than anything else.
What happened?
Well, the thing is, like, it used to be Star Wars. It was like Endgame, waiting all year for this stuff. Star Wars, but now it's just like when the trailer gets released, we're like, oh, this is cool. I'll see that. But
Yeah.
still excited about it. Can we just like say it all at once and then roll back to it? You know?
Yeah.
So there's the new poster, the footage, the Rise of Skywalker trailer. They dropped it, and the Mandalorian trailer, which dropped actually a few days ago. I don't think they wanted to drop the trailer those same day, so they kind of separated them. And then there's also Ewan McGregor is coming back as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Woo!
Yeah, honestly, sometimes I think that this wasn't planned. They didn't have Ewan McGregor coming on at all, but then they just saw the groundswell. The entire internet being like, where the fuck is Ewan McGregor right now? Why is he not making shit?
Apparently, I read somewhere that the script for the show was done before they even got the green light for the show because they had originally wrote it as a movie. And they're like, let's just do all the other shit we threw out and make it into a show. And they were like, Ewan, we have your plane ticket to Anaheim. If you want to come this day and say you're going to be Obi-Wan, we'll just leave this right here.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like when you text like a Tinder hookup. You're like, I'm going to be in your city. You want to come out?
You think
Right.
you think Disney's like learning from past mistakes? We're like listening to fans and listening to what people want versus just doing what they think is right.
Where have they been burned?
It's not that they've been burned. They're just strategizing. They're learning what works the best.
I think that I will say that they were a bit burned on the reception of The Last Jedi.
The last time Disney was wrong about what people wanted was Tron Legacy.
They weren't entirely wrong.
No,
I
they made a
enjoyed
great.
Ron.
They made a great
Yeah.
movie. It's just no one showed up.
Yeah, that's true. No, but I think that they probably listened to the feedback from The Last Jedi. It was called The Last Jedi, right? Well,
Yeah, The Last Jedi. There's
Only,
no-
only in your universe.
that was
Am I-
episode 8.
yeah, episode 8. I think they heard the feedback because the fans were pissed off. Obviously, they went back, decided that they were going to have J.J. Abrams direct the final 9th movie instead of whoever they had for that previously.
Colin Trevorrow, who did Jurassic World and Safety Not Guaranteed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Great movie, by the way. Go watch that instead of Star Wars. Safety
Yeah,
Not Guaranteed.
that's a really good movie. I don't know if you need to not watch Star Wars. You should definitely
no,
watch
just
Star
I
Wars.
want to plug it.
Yeah. But I think that they did that, and I definitely think that this is due to fan demanding.
That's good.
Ewan McGregor.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't care anything about this until I saw him on stage. I was that's cool.
Yeah, that's really
'Cause
cool.
He was really in the prequels. He was the best thing out of the prequels.
I still haven't seen
100%.
Obi-Wan
So
was the
fucking
coolest
good.
thing.
Yeah, he's
no,
incredible.
no. Darth Maul was the coolest thing out of the prequels.
Yeah, but he dies really quick.
I don't care.
And but you know what? You know why he was so cool? Because he fought Obi-Wan. The two of them together were
No,
so
the reason
dope.
why it's so cool was the face paint and the 2 lightsabers.
It's all
Look,
right. It was cool, but
looking
you know.
cool and having a cool scene is different than an actual character.
Look at the Mandalorian. The
who, like,
Mandalorian
a
is based off
character-
one,
a character that you like and that you follow him through all these series. Although he's following a stupid story, you're still like Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Cool. I like what you did.
Right, yeah, I get him, and I thought his character was good. Obviously, he's incredibly well acted by Ewan McGregor. Once again, name drop.
I heard that this was like the most excited the audience has got at all of D23 was this announcement.
100%, I agree. Everyone,
I still haven't watched it
the
yet.
whole internet, just super excited.
I
about
haven't
this.
watched it because I thought it was like inevitable.
Yeah, that they were going to bring him back.
I just didn't realize people would be that shocked because this was one of the movies they talked about when Disney first bought Star Wars and they said we're going to do spinoffs.
And everyone's like, why the fuck haven't you said you're going to do
Like
an Obi-Wan series?
they probably should have done Obi-Wan instead of Solo.
Yeah, I mean, after what
getting
we saw
people to
with
believe
Solo.
in someone else playing, Harrison Ford's Han Solo, they already spent 3 movies getting people to love what Ewan McGregor did.
Right.
By the way, I thought Solo was pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah, I don't know. See why
I mean, it
people
wasn't
didn't like
great, but it was good.
I enjoyed it. Whatever.
I would have rather seen what the guys from Spider-Verse did with it.
So,
Yeah.
The Rise of Skywalker trailer, it was whatever. It's really ambiguous.
I liked it, and I don't know anything.
That's the thing.
I am to Star Wars what everyone else that talks to me must be about like Marvel.
Well, we got the evil Ray, which was pretty cool.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
a huge drop.
Everyone is evil and sexy now.
Yeah.
Everyone is wearing
I mean,
mascara.
like, the thing is, like, it's
You got Rey is evil.
I don't-
Palpatine is back. C-3PO is evil. They're all evil and sexy. What if they just do what they always do and tease someone being evil, and it's like a flashback or
a
a Force
vision.
Ghost or a vision, or
I personally think I know what it is.
or what if it's not even in the movie? What if that scene is not even in the movie?
That
They
would be
also
such a-
do that.
Such a
They do
troll
so
move.
much shit. Maybe not Disney specifically, but so many people do that.
I remember when they were talking about what was the thing with their Thor was missing an eye, but they had his eye in there.
Yeah, in the trailer, he had both his eyes.
Right, and everyone's like confused and
Because
They
do,
CGI it out. They just turn off that layer.
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
But I don't. We can cut this out. But I personally think that Rey from that trailer, that is a clone of Rey. That is evil.
You heard it here first, guys. Hot scoop.
The hottest scoop.
Flaming hot.
Yeah.
Cheeto scoop. Oh, I did see the Mandalorian trailer. That looks cool.
It looks adult, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what I was looking at though, to be honest.
I just knew I liked it.
Yeah,
It looked like if you
It's-
mixed Breaking Bad with Star Wars, and I'm like, that's my shit.
I couldn't get a sense of narrative. Like I didn't know what's going on. I just see him going around and I guess being a bounty hunter.
Yeah,
I
that's
never
it.
know what's going on with Star Wars. I just look to see if the images
Is-
make me happy.
Yeah, the colors and
Yeah, I'm like an infant. I was like, oh, cool.
It's like each episode is like a new bounty. I'll take this one.
Yeah.
And like he goes and gets them.
It's 6 episodes or 8 episodes, and it's every week. You have to wait. Or you
Ooh.
could just be like me and not even know it's on, and then it's over, and you just watch it all at once.
So maybe they're trying to build suspense.
Or maybe they want you to not watch it all at once and only pay for 1 month.
Do you imagine that? That's maybe their biggest fear.
Money is motivating them? Get out of
Yeah,
town.
who would have thought?
I do like the weekly release person.
I do too. It built suspense.
What's the biggest news story of D23? Who won D23?
I'm gonna give it to Ian McGregor. And
Yeah,
Obi-Wan.
Star Wars.
If the Marvel shows were sooner, I would say them. But
But I knew about most of these.
the
shows.
Mandalorian, the Mandalorian was what won me
Oh yeah.
because I didn't know about it.
Yeah, I think because we already knew about most of the Marvel stuff from the Marvel thing. So
Yeah, I meant Moon
There's
Knight
that.
specifically.
Moonlight was cool. That sounded a lot cool. Like you got me more excited about it.
Yeah,
They didn't really. They just showed a logo. You know, they didn't really show anything.
You want to wrap it up? Because we're good now.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't heard enough of me, thank you guys for listening, and cheers to you for getting through another episode and learning all about D23. Thank you for liking this podcast on Spotify and signing up and subscribing or doing all the things, clicking all the buttons on all the websites and writing a review so we can talk to you specifically. Cheers again. Have a great one.
Yeah, thank you. Tweet us at the Recipe Boys, boys being spelled BOYZ, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you for bearing with us for D23. There's just so much shit to talk about.
Well, it's been an episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for bearing with us, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace. Cheers.